Good afternoon, everybody. Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey. Happy Tuesday to you. Not so bad to kick things off here for your Tuesday. Most of the area has been dry to kick things off, but I do think that we're going to get a little bit more active as we start getting deeper onto this afternoon. Not just here, but boy, it's going to be a very interesting day to pay attention to what's going on, especially out to our west. Here's the setup as of midday. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s across much of the state. With the exception of extreme northern Indiana, where you're on the northern end of a stationary boundary and temperatures are struggling. South Bend at 45. O'Hare in Chicago at 45. A bit cooler off to our north. That boundary is going to try to sag down to the south a little bit. And notice the rain that's out toward Iowa and Missouri, getting ready to enter western Illinois. That complex will be heading our direction as we head into the afternoon. So that's going to be our rainmaker that we're going to be watching for later on today. Also note, big area of low pressure just east of Denver, and to the east of that, that will be the focal point for the potential of a severe weather outbreak later this afternoon. We've been talking about that for the past several days. Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, all under the gun, hail, damaging winds, and some strong tornadoes possible, all in play as we head into the afternoon and evening. So a lot to watch for, not just locally, but nationally. Let's stay local first. And talk about the rain chances for this afternoon. And as we get deeper into the afternoon, I think that we'll start to see some of these little isolated cells pop. Not everybody's going to get wet, but you could have some locally heavy downpours, a little bit of lightning as well. And then I think by around 4, 5, 6 o'clock, if you want to follow along with the clock, go to the top right of this model that I'm showing. It says Tuesday, 1600 EDT. That's your clock in military time, but it is in Eastern Daylight Time. That's 4, 5, and then 6 o'clock. More widespread rain starting to set up, and basically the best chances for rain, at least the heavier rain, is going to be along and south of I-70. Still could see a few light showers if you're north of that area as we take you into around 8 o'clock tonight. But the heaviest rain is probably going to be from Indian Point south. Rain likely hangs on probably until very late tonight, maybe around midnight. That's where we'll take you to about 1 a.m., most of the rain exiting the area. There could be enough ingredients with this that we could see maybe a storm or two on the stronger side. Hail is going to be the main threat for us. And then you go out to the west where they have that moderate risk for severe weather. Again, that's the second highest level of categories there. And we'll kind of break down the dangers here for today, the risks. Tornado threat about 10%. And that's the probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. And then when you have the hatched area there, you see those black hashes, that means a 10% or greater probability of EF2 to EF5 tornadoes within 25 miles of point. So kind of a higher risk for some very large and long track, long-lived tornadoes today. Wind threat is about a 30 in that moderate and slight enhanced risk area, rather. 15% when you get into the southern portions of Illinois and even in extreme southwestern Indiana, maybe around Evansville. And then the hail threat, exceptionally high, 45% in the Central Plains in that moderate category. So it's almost a 50-50 shot that they could see at least 1-inch diameter hail or larger within 25 miles of a point in that 45% zone. The hatched area means 10% or greater probability of 2-inch diameter hail or larger within 25 miles of a point. So baseball-size hail, I think we'll probably see a few reports of that, maybe even a little bit larger. So it's going to be a dangerous day out in the plains, and we'll keep you updated on it. Let me show you some of the severe weather parameters that we look at inside some of these models. This is from the high-resolution model, the instability, pretty high. This is from what we call CAPE, convective available potential energy. It basically is measuring the instability, air parcels being able to rise freely. The fuel for thunderstorms and what also can assist in making hail large. And you've got some big numbers. Peaks out at over 6,000 joules. So that's pretty hefty. And that's where your hail threat's going to come from. And then this is the significant tornado parameter. I know it looks more like a radar, but this is actually judging kind of a lot of different ingredients here that could potentially help to fuel strong, long-lived, large tornadoes. And anything above a 1 is eye-catching, and that's that dark green. And you've got areas that are in that red, 6.1. I think I've seen as high as over 7. There's a 7.2 in eastern Kansas. So potentially a dangerous situation out to the west. Let's shift ahead to Wednesday. And that storm system that will bring the severe weather in the plains heads our way, but it loses a lot of its dynamics. But still could see a few thunderstorms on the stronger side. We have a marginal risk for southwestern Indiana, Bedford, and Bloomington, Bloomfield included in that. Slight risk for southern Illinois, and that heads back across the Mississippi. So let's talk about really the rest of your week, which has the potential of being wet. We mentioned the rain chances for today. We'll kind of just breeze through that here. And then we head into your Wednesday morning. I don't want to say it's completely dry, but I think kind of like this morning, a lot of areas will be dry. With just a few isolated showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. That wave that's out in the plains heads our way by Wednesday evening. And so I think by late afternoon, early evening, and then late night, more widespread rain and thunderstorms will start to evolve across the area, likely heading into the overnight hours. And this wants to hang at least some of that rain on for early Thursday morning. That's a look at around 5, 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. Thursday, then, with the boundary just kind of camping out. It won't be a completely wet day, but you'll have some pop-up showers and a few rumbles of thunder hanging around on Thursday. That system pulls to the east, and by Friday, we dry out, but it doesn't last long. The weekend now, let's move ahead to Saturday, and this is just shortly after midnight. Should be dry. Think hitting daybreak on Saturday morning should be dry as well if this model holds true. There's another model that wants to bring in the rain a little bit earlier. But for now, I'm going to leave Saturday morning dry. Afternoon, though, there could be a few spotty showers and storms. Saturday evening does look to be a bit soggy. And then heading into Sunday, that's a very wet look Sunday morning. Widespread rain. And as we get deeper on into the afternoon, the area of low pressure gets a little bit closer to us, and potential for maybe some thunderstorms and maybe a question mark as to how strong those could be, but we'll leave that door open, or at least the mention that maybe a few strong storms, but a lot can change for Sunday afternoon. We'll keep you updated on that. And then heading into Monday, the system pulls away for the afternoon. We'll briefly dry things out Monday heading into Tuesday morning before our next system moves in. Tuesday night, and then heading into Wednesday. And then it looks like we'll start to dry the pattern out a bit. So numerous rain chances on the way, and no surprise, some pretty beefy numbers. This is the 7-day outlook here for rainfall. You can see the bullseye over Terre Haute, about 4.3 inches of rainfall. Good bet that really anywhere in central Indiana over the next 7 days, we could see anywhere between 2 to 4 inches of rain. Once the rain moves out, this is the look at the upper level pattern here for early next week, the start of May, and that is a cooler look. So after seeing temperatures in the 70s and 80s for the last several weeks, we may struggle to even get to the mid-60s, get close to the average as we head into next week. And the model ensemble there kind of painting that picture. You can see the cool down Friday and Saturday, upper 60s, then back to the low 70s. We're still above average. But Tuesday and Wednesday is what we were just showing you on that map. Mid-60s, lows in the 40s. Before we start to climb the ladder again, back to near 70 by the end of the week. And then heading into the weekend, we'll start to see those numbers jumping even more. I believe that's mini marathon weekend. And should see numbers near 80 in the afternoon. So probably going to be a warm start for many of those mini marathon runners. All right, that's a look at the forecast there. I'm going to have a lot more details coming up on 24-hour News 8 at 5, 6, 10, and 11. Of course, if there's any severe weather, we will break in to coverage as well. We'll keep you updated on the blog at wishtv.com and always on social media. Make sure you're following along at Facebook and Twitter, and also join the conversation on our Storm Track 8 Facebook page as well. Have a great Tuesday afternoon. We'll talk to you soon.